Opposition warned, unite under one leader or face defeat. Oasis Forum's ultimatum explained. Tonight, Zambia's opposition faces a stark warning from the Oasis Forum: unite and choose one leader or risk political irrelevance. With elections approaching, internal divisions could cost them everything. But who will step up? And will the parties listen before it's too late? Stay with us, because what the forum revealed behind closed doors could reshape the entire political landscape of Zambia. Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of InspirAfrica Official. I'm Nakash. As we close out this first week of December, the political temperature in Zambia continues to rise, and what we're witnessing is nothing short of a constitutional crisis colliding with an opposition identity crisis. Today, we're diving into a moment that may define the 2026 elections before a single vote is cast. Picture this: a consortium of opposition leaders walking into the offices of the Oasis Forum, Zambia's most influential civil society coalition. The mood is tense. Bill 7, the controversial constitutional amendment, has divided the nation. Churches are praying in black. The Constitutional Court has already ruled the bill illegal. The government is pushing forward anyway. And in the midst of this constitutional storm, the Oasis Forum delivers a message that lands like a thunderbolt on the opposition parties. But here's where it gets fascinating. The chairperson of this powerful forum doesn't just talk about Bill 7. No. Beauty Kadebe pivots to something far more personal, far more urgent. She looks at these opposition leaders and issues what can only be described as a political ultimatum: unite behind one leader or lose. What would drive a civil society organization, in the middle of fighting a constitutional battle, to suddenly turn to the opposition and deliver such a stark warning? Why would they risk appearing partisan when they claim to represent all Zambians? Is this tough love, or is this a recognition that the opposition's fragmentation is actually helping the very government they're all fighting against? And perhaps most critically, can Zambian opposition parties, with their egos, their ambitions, their regional calculations, actually do what has never been done before? Can they sacrifice their presidential dreams for the collective good? Or will they march into 2026 divided, ensuring another term for President Hichilema, while Bill 7, the very amendment they all oppose, becomes the law of the land? Factual foundation, background and timeline. The revelation came to light on Thursday, December 5, 2025, when a consortium of opposition political parties paid a courtesy call on the Oasis Forum at their offices in Lusaka. The Oasis Forum, for those unfamiliar, is a coalition of civil society organizations that has played a pivotal role in Zambian democracy for over 2 decades. They've stood with opposition parties before. In fact, they marched shoulder to shoulder with Hakainde Hichilema when he was in opposition, fighting against Bill 10 under the previous PF government. But this meeting wasn't primarily about reliving old alliances. The opposition came bearing a letter that Parliament had refused to accept, a letter addressed to members of Parliament urging them not to support Bill 7. The forum agreed to help deliver this letter through the opposition parties themselves. The context is critical. Bill 7 has become the most divisive political issue in Zambia since the drafting of the 2016 Constitution. The Constitutional Court ruled it illegal in the Mukandila and Munir Zulu case, stating that the bill was initiated without the mandatory wide public consultations. Despite this ruling, President Hichilema's government has pushed forward, establishing a technical committee and conducting what they call a nationwide consultation process. The Oasis Forum had just days earlier, on November 29, held a prayer rally dressed in black at the Cathedral of the Child Jesus. Opposition leaders attended. Former ministers showed up. The imagery was powerful: civil society and opposition united in what they called a defense of the Constitution. Then came the State House meeting. On camera, President Hichilema appeared receptive. But according to multiple sources, once the cameras were switched off and the media was asked to leave, the president's message changed dramatically. He reportedly told the forum that if they opposed Bill 7, they should take it to court or lobby MPs. The message was clear: the bill was moving forward regardless of their concerns. This created a political pressure cooker. The government suspended further dialogue with the Oasis Forum on Sunday night, citing a lack of constructive engagement. Church leaders were being attacked. Opposition MPs were allegedly being offered 3 million kwacha each to support the bill. And Parliament was set to return from recess on December 17. It was in this exact moment, with all these forces converging, that Beauty Cat Ebe seized the opportunity to deliver her unexpected message to the opposition. Direct evidence. Beauty Cat Ebe, chairperson of the Oasis Forum, didn't mince words. Speaking directly to the assembled opposition leaders, she said, "It's good that we are here together, and also, this gives me an opportunity, without permission from my colleagues, to speak to you as our opposition leaders. We are looking at you, we are watching you, we are seeing the confusion that is there, and we are worried as Zambians." That opening, without permission from my colleagues, reveals the spontaneous urgency of her message. This wasn't a prepared statement. This was a woman speaking from deep concern about the future of her country. She continued, "So, this is an assignment to you as well, go back and work on who should be your leader and support that one person. For as long as you all remain presidents and appear on that ballot paper, I can assure you, votes will be split, and what you want to achieve, you will not achieve." There's a mathematical certainty to that statement. It's not about insults or political games. It's about arithmetic. Multiple candidates equal split votes. Split votes equal defeat. But Cat Ebe went further, diagnosing exactly what she saw happening. "Let me take this opportunity to also ask that you, the opposition, should consider choosing one or two leaders to challenge the UPND. This thing of everyone wanting to be a president is weakening the opposition. This thing of everyone wanting to be a president." That phrase cuts deep. It speaks to ego, to ambition unchecked by strategic thinking, to the personal trumping the collective. The opposition leaders in that room represented diverse parties: the Patriotic Front, Citizens First, the Socialist Party, UNIP, NAREP, the United Liberal Party, and others. Each with their own presidential aspirant. Each with their own calculations. PF Acting President Given Labinda was there. Just days earlier, he had issued his own statement warning PF MPs not to accept alleged bribes to support Bill 7. "We are aware that some MPs have allegedly been or will be bribed with substantial funds, specifically K3 million each, to support the bill. We will ensure that these MPs are held accountable for their actions. The people will not forget those who betrayed their trust." Harry Kalaba of Citizens First had publicly backed the Oasis Forum's march against Bill 7, declaring, "We in the CF are committed to working with the Oasis Forum and all well-meaning Zambians who understand that an illegality is an illegality, and it does not matter what Mr. Hichilema says, Bill 7 was found to be an illegality and no amount of sanitization will change that." Trevor Mwamba of UNIP framed the struggle in moral terms. Opposing Bill 7 is not about personalities. It is about principle and standing for what is right. Saquiba Sakota of the United Liberal Party warned, "The message to the committee is clear. Those who make the wrong decisions will face the scrutiny of the people, civil society, and the church." These were leaders united in their opposition to Bill 7. But on the question of 2026? On the question of who should lead? Silence. Deeper analysis. What makes the Oasis Forum's ultimatum so significant is its timing and its source. First, the timing. This isn't happening in a vacuum. The 2026 elections are roughly 18 months away. Political parties are already positioning, raising funds, building structures. Presidential aspirants are traveling the country, making promises, building name recognition. To ask them now to step aside? That's asking them to sacrifice not just ambition but significant political capital and resources already invested. Second, the source. The Oasis Forum claims to represent civil society broadly, not any particular political faction. By making this statement, Cat Ebe risks the forum being seen as taking sides. Some pro-government commentators have already labeled the forum urban elitist and accused them of being politically compromised. This statement could fuel those accusations. But there's a deeper strategic calculation at play. The Oasis Forum appears to recognize something fundamental: their fight against Bill 7 and the opposition's fight to win in 2026 are actually the same fight. If the opposition remains fragmented and the UPND wins in 2026, Bill 7 becomes irrelevant because the government will have the mandate to do whatever they want for another 5 years. The mathematics are stark. In the 2021 elections, Hakainde Hichilema won decisively. But imagine if the opposition vote had been consolidated. The PF, despite being in power, still commanded significant support. Smaller parties like Citizens First and the Socialist Party attracted meaningful numbers in certain regions. Spread across multiple candidates, those votes simply helped guarantee a UPND victory. Now, fast forward to 2026. If the PF runs Given Labinda, Citizens First runs Harry Kalaba, the Socialist Party runs Fred Membi, UNIP runs someone, NAREP runs someone else, what happens? Each candidate takes votes from particular regions, particular demographics. The total opposition vote might be substantial. But split 5 or 6 ways, it's meaningless. There's also the question of what happens if they somehow win. One commenter captured this concern perfectly: if the opposition unite and pick one presidential candidate and, God forbid, they win the 2026 election, we would have a big fight that would last the whole 5 years over cabinet positions. That government will be paralyzed if it survives the 5 years mandate. This is a legitimate concern. Coalition governments are notoriously fragile. Kenya's 2018 handshake government showed how power-sharing arrangements can either stabilize politics or create perpetual infighting. Zimbabwe's government of national unity from 2009 to 2013 was marked by constant tension between Mugabe's ZANU-PF and Tsvangirai MDC. But here's the counter-argument: fragmented opposition doesn't just lose elections. It fails to hold government accountable between elections. A divided opposition can't effectively scrutinize legislation. It can't mount coordinated resistance to problematic bills. It can't present a credible alternative vision to voters. The Oasis Forum statement also raises questions about democratic representation. Is it democratic for civil society to tell political parties who should lead them? Shouldn't that be decided by party members through primaries? By voters through elections? Yet democracy isn't just about individual choice, it's also about strategic coordination. If 10 firefighters show up to a burning building but refuse to coordinate because each wants to be in charge, the building burns down. Sometimes the greater good requires subordinating individual ambition to collective success. There's precedent for this kind of unity. In 2021, before his presidency, Hakainde Hichilema managed to consolidate much of the opposition support. Other parties chose not to field strong candidates, recognizing that the best chance to remove the PF from power required unity. It worked. But there's a crucial difference: Hichilema was already the clear front-runner. The opposition rallied behind someone with momentum, resources, and nationwide recognition. In 2025, there is no clear front-runner. The PF is fractured. Citizens First has support in certain regions but not others. The Socialist Party has an intellectual appeal but limited mass support. UNIP carries historical weight but has struggled with relevance in modern elections. Who, then, should the opposition unite behind? This is where the Oasis Forum's ultimatum becomes deeply complex. They've issued the challenge. But they haven't provided the mechanism. So viewers, we've laid out the ultimatum. The Oasis Forum has thrown down the gauntlet: unite or lose. The opposition must now decide whether they have the discipline, the humility, and the strategic vision to do what Kat Ebe is asking. Will they be able to set aside personal ambitions for a collective goal? Can they find a mechanism, a process, to fairly choose one or two candidates? Will party members accept a leader who isn't from their party? These are not easy questions. They strike at the heart of political identity, regional pride, and personal legacy. And of course, there's the question of whether unity would even work. Would opposition voters actually turn out for a unified candidate who wasn't their first choice? Or would they stay home, disillusioned by backroom deals and elite bargaining? The next few months will be fascinating to watch. We're not just witnessing a fight over Bill 7. We're witnessing a fundamental test of whether Zambian opposition politics can evolve beyond fragmentation. Thank you for watching today's edition. This is a developing story, and we'll be following it closely. What do you think? Should the opposition unite behind one leader? Is that even possible? Let us know in the comments below. Your insights matter, and we read every single comment. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, more analysis, more of the stories that shape our continent. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, democracy isn't a spectator sport. I'm Nakash, and this has been InspirAfrica Official. Take care.